If I was to restart my social media marketing agency, knowing everything I know now, but from starting from the beginning, here's exactly what I would do. The first thing I would do is make sure I don't grow too quickly. I've got a marketing agency. Over the last 3 years, it's done ridiculously well, but I scaled a bit too quickly, which ended up losing some clients, which I'm never going to be able to get back because that trust and relationship is now broken down. I haven't lost loads of clients. I've lost a handful of clients just because my focus was on the better end of the clients instead of the ones that was kind of smaller, if that makes sense. Especially because I'm a one-man band and I don't have any help or assistance around me apart from the odd friend who's a videographer who will help me out if I'm on holiday. I've kind of built this agency which is making over £100,000 a year on my own, running over 15 accounts, creating 15 separate pieces of artwork, 15 websites, 15 Facebook ads, creating and editing all the content myself in this office. So I kind of scaled it a bit too quickly. So before that would happen again, I would build a team around me. I'd probably get my missus on board or a friend on board to help me with the editing and the management and dealing with the clients, because that was or is still the biggest time consumption, is dealing with the clients. The second way I would restart my marketing agency is not go for the undercut method from the other agencies, because I've undercut a lot of agencies in my local area because I am the person who's doing the content. So technically I can go as low as possible, just beating their price, because they obviously have to find outsourced videographers and photographers to do the work for them and make their profit on top. So if I go lower than them, there's no way they can compete with my price. However, I am literally running around like a headless chicken for some clients who do not pay me anywhere near of what my main clients pay me. And it's a bit of a catch-22 because I can't lose those clients because they've been with me for so long and there's 5 or 6 of them, and it adds up to a couple of £1,000s a month. It's a really good income. But I can't continue to keep them on because the price just isn't justified for the work I'm doing. So the second thing is definitely making sure my pricing is set from day one, a price that I'm happy with, up until 2030 until we renegotiate, or if I leave them or they leave me. I need to make sure I'm happy with the pricing from day one. The third thing, if I was to restart a marketing agency, is I would set the tone and I'd set the examples from day one as well. Like, you can't call me at 11 o'clock at night and expect me to pick up the phone. But because I've done that for the past 3 years, because I was so keen on building the agency and pleasing them as much as possible, I picked up the phone at 11 o'clock. I paused that film when I was watching it with my missus to answer the phone. And because I've always done it, I can't not continue that, because they're going to be like, what's happened to Joel? Joel's changed. There has to be some point in the day where I shut off and not think about work. However, because I am the heart and the brains within this agency, I just physically cannot and will not let that happen. So up until I physically fall asleep in my bed, I'm thinking about videos and work and clients. Have I posted this? Have I posted that? And it is draining, physically draining. And the fourth thing, which is a bit 50-50, I'll be honest with you, but the fourth thing is take a chunk out of the profit. I would take a chunk of the profit from day one to pay a videographer to do the job for me. Because where I've had 3 years of making really good money, let's say £10,000 a month, now I'm at that point and I have to pay a videographer £3,000 or £4,000 a month to do the job for me. Let's say if I move abroad or if I just don't want to film anymore and I want to sub it out, that's going to hit a lot harder than if I was to pay someone from day one. However, profits from day one always isn't going to be there. You're not going to start your agency with 15 clients, so you're going to have to do it yourself from day one. So it's a bit of a 50-50, but I would allow myself to pay full price for another professional videographer and photographer to take care of the job for me, so I can have more time managing the client, dealing with the client and making sure the business is running smoothly. And if you're somebody who's looking to start a marketing agency, we're basically about to be in 2025, and There are so many local businesses out there, not only restaurants, there's so many independent local businesses out there who need you to capture content for them. Doesn't have to be on a professional camera, it can be on a phone. Phones are so good nowadays, just taking basic videos and photos on a phone, editing them on CapCut or in-app on Instagram or TikTok, and charging a small retainer fee or a large retainer fee to that client who needs your help. Get 5 of those, you replace your 9-to-5 job, and you can technically run your marketing agency from anywhere in the world. If I was to start a marketing agency again, those are the points that I would probably consider redoing again. Like if I was going to start a different industry instead of restaurants and start a completely new agency and start from scratch, or if I was to move to Dubai, for example, and start a marketing agency, from day one, I would make sure the pricing is what I'm going to be happy with over the next couple of years. I'd make sure someone's on board to help me so I'm not able to scale it to a point where I physically cannot control the business anymore and I'm just letting clients down. And thirdly, I would make sure I've got enough time for me instead of just working and working and working and literally burning myself to the ground. So they are the points that I would do if I was to start a marketing agency from scratch, especially in 2025.